So y'all, I was just sitting here thinking about the video that I made this morning. If you didn't see my live from this morning, I think it's called Creating Balance in the Mind, I think, or something like that. If you haven't seen it, I feel sorry for you. I'm just joking. But so I was thinking about that video and how I was speaking about witchcraft and people being at home afraid because they like, oh, somebody is putting a hex on me. And it's like, y'all create this mindset of believing that people who do witchcraft have power over you. And in the midst of me mentioning that, I kind of spoke on how if you walking righteously in the Lord, then you have no reason to fear witchcraft, right? And so I also want to kind of highlight how when I say walking righteously in the Lord, of course, we know that God is married to the backslider. So I want everybody to understand that you can be a Christian, a child of God, and just so happen to make a mistake. But you have to know the difference, of course, between making a mistake and willingly choosing sin. And so now that I pointed that out, I also want to point out this example from the Bible where I don't remember who it was. It might have been Peter or Paul or somebody. I think it was Paul, where the lady who was demon possessed kept on saying how like, oh, these are the people who preach the word of God, and they know the true Lord, right? But that woman had like a spirit or something. Notice how the demon was around, the spirit was present, but it had no power, right? And it was coming up against a person, which was either Paul or Peter, who was walking in God. And so when it comes down to walking righteously, remember, you have to examine yourself. You have to be able to not always be looking at everybody else's, wrongdoings, but truly wanting to be better so that you can actually see who you truly are. If you don't do that, you're going to have a hard time knowing if God knows you and if you're under grace, because you haven't had your heart pruned to the place to where you can actually judge fairly. If you can't examine yourself, you're not going to judge fairly. And not being able to properly judge or discern or whatever you want to call it, that roots from you not ever truly examining yourself. If you can't hold yourself over the fire, then it's almost like you don't even understand the fire. And that's when you start putting too much fire under people or too little fire under people. You get what I'm saying? And either way it goes, though, back to the message at hand. Just remember, Peter, Paul, all of them, they denied Jesus after he went on the cross. They were not perfect, but they were covered. And so I need people to understand you're either covered or you're not. That's for you to